So those who are online, just say hi again. Those students who are online, just say hi again so that we can start. Pratibha, Harpriya, Mona, Yash. So I think आप सभी को मेरी आवाज़ clearly आ रही है. I think most of you can listen to me easily. I'm audible to all of you. And welcome to this new session. So this is the session for June 2020. Previous session we have completed. This is actually the new session. So again we have to start all the subjects from the beginning, and we'll target to finish all the subject at least 1 week before the examination. Okay. So I think most of you are live and online. So in this session, before we start, we are going to discuss three important things here. First, we will be discussing about the analysis of this previous year examination, that is December 2019 examination. We will discuss the analysis of this examination. Then we will discuss the analysis of previous year GATE examination. We will discuss about what is our preparation strategy in this session. इस session में हमारी preparation strategy क्या रहेगी? And then in the end we will be discussing about some of the guidelines that I have already sent you in the Telegram group also. Some of those guidelines or improvement or changes that we have performed this in this case. And then in the last we will be discussing about some contact information. Okay. So I guess we can start now. Let us start here. So here you can see this is the analysis of December 2019. So in December 2019 from database management system DBMS, the total number of questions we got is around 6. From object oriented programming language, that is OOPS, here there was one question from Java and one question from C++. So you got 2 questions from OOPS subject here. Then from ADA you got 10 questions. From theory of computation you got 10 questions in December 2019. From artificial intelligence you got 8 questions. So this AI include all the 3 parts, which is your fuzzy logic as well as your neural networks, genetic algorithms. All these parts are included in this artificial intelligence AI. From computer graphics you got 4 questions at this time. From discrete mathematics you got 6 questions. From mobile computing you got 1 question. From current trends and technology, actually it is also called as Internet of Things, right? So I named it as current trends and technology, but this question was under the section of Internet of Things. So you got 1 question from this. From LPP, that is linear programming problems, you got 3 questions. And from software engineering you got 10 questions. From computer networks you got 9 questions. From operating system you got 8 questions. From C programming you got 2 questions. Web development 2, Linux 1, computer architecture organization is 8. And from digital logic you got 3 questions in this examinations. Now if you look at all these subjects, you will identify that there are some subjects which are common in every year in UGC net, which are having the highest weightage. Now in this year they have asked many questions from ADA, that is algorithm design analysis, but they have not asked any question from discrete mathematics. So basically you cannot study ADA. Yeah. So from discrete mathematics they have asked 6th question this time, and from mobile computing they have asked 6 questions this time, and there from some subjects you can clearly see that they are not asking any question from those subjects. So from mobile computing, this subject again you can leave for this session also. From this current trends and technology, which includes your IoT, Internet of Things, so you can leave these subject, as well as you can also leave Linux while you are preparing. So see, there are group of subjects here. So for example you have C plus data structures plus algorithm. Now this time they have asked many questions from algorithm part, but they have not asked any question from data structures part. But again, all these 3 subjects are very, very important. You are going to prepare these subjects for your examination. Without preparing these subjects you cannot clear the exam. Okay, fine. So again I was discussing about what are the subjects which are important and what are the subjects which are not important. So if you are preparing for June examination, that is June 2019 examination, you can leave mobile computing, you can leave this Internet of Things, IoTs, and you can also leave Linux. So these 3 subjects you can leave. Even without preparing this subject, you should focus more on other subjects rather than these subjects, because they are hardly asking any questions from them. So you can clearly see from these 3 subjects you got only 3 questions out of 100 questions. Okay, And then C programming you cannot leave, but from web development they have asked very easy questions based on HTML, and the question itself was so easy that even if you spend 3 hours in HTML, you can easily solve those questions. So this portion is very easy, so I will not say that you should leave it, because the questions that is expected from web development part, they are supposed to be very, very easy. Okay, now what we can see from this analysis, from this complete analysis. So you can see okay, by the way, these are the charts that I've already included in the PPT. I've already sent you the PPTs मैं आपको already send कर चुका हूँ, और ये जो chart है, I think you must be having these charts with your end. Okay, तो यहाँ से आप from this chart you can see what are the subjects which are having highest weightage. So anything which is above 6 or above 6, these subjects are extremely important. For example, database management system is very important, ADA is a very important subject, theory of computation is a very important subject, artificial intelligence is also very important, discrete mathematics is very important, software engineering is also extremely important, computer networks is very important, operating system is very important, as well as computer architecture and organization is very important. Now in this session, all the subjects which are very important, I am going to teach all these subjects by myself. I am not going to give this subject to some other to Naveen sir or other teachers. So in this session, I am going to teach database management system, ADA, data structures, theory of computation, artificial intelligence, discrete mathematics, software engineering, computer networks, operating system, and computer architecture organization. All these subjects I will be teaching personally, so I will not be giving these subjects to other faculties. And obviously, apart of this, some of my strong subjects are also there. For example, C and data structures, I am going to teach that. Digital logic, again, in the previous session I have taught digital logic, so in this session also I am going to teach digital logic. And there are some subjects that I am going to leave for other faculties, like for example, Linux is there, web development is there, and LPP is there, so mobile computing and IoT is there. So I'm going to give these subjects to other faculties, but most of these important subjects I'm going to teach all of them by myself. Okay, now this is the pie chart. If you want to look at it, you can have a look. I've already sent you the presentation. PPT मैं आपको Telegram group पर send कर चुका हूँ. Already sent you this PPT in the Telegram group, so you can, I think, must be having these pie charts also. So this is the analysis from June 2019. We have seen the analysis from December 2019, as well as this is the analysis from June 2019. In June 2019 you got 11 questions from discrete mathematics, and from software engineering you got 8 questions. So again you can see in December 2019 you got 10 questions, in June 2019 you got 8 questions. And here AI you got 12 questions here, and I think you also remember what is the number of questions from December 2019. So you can see AI is also extremely important subject. So you can leave some of the subjects here. Again, you can leave Linux and Unix, you can leave microprocessor, you do not have to study it. You can leave data mining also, because from data mining they have not asked any question in December. So you can leave data mining in the beginning. So if you get time in the end, then you can focus on data mining. And you can also leave advanced DBMS, because in this session in December they have not asked any question from advanced DBMS. So obviously you can also leave advanced DBMS. So see why I'm saying you can leave. So because they're not asking any question from this part, in part में से कोई भी questions नहीं पूछ रहे हैं, so I would recommend you, or I would suggest you, take these parts in the end, or whenever you get time, or whenever you have time, like you can spend time on other subjects, right? So do not make them as your primary subject, because hardly they are asking any question from them. So this is in June 2019 they have asked hardly one questions from each of these subjects, and in December they have not asked questions from data mining, microprocessor, advanced DBMS. They have not asked any question from this part. Okay, so from IOTA again they asked one question this time, and in the last session also they've asked one question. And so you can see most of the important subjects. So from compiler design they have not asked any question this time. So you can see what are the subjects which are important, and according to the importance of the subject you can start your preparation thoroughly. Okay, so this was a paper analysis of 2018. You can see this paper analysis by yourself. आपको मैंने PPT दिया है. In that PPT itself you can see the same paper analysis from 2018. So again you can see there are some subjects which are not important at all. You can leave those subjects. For example, data mining, you can leave this subject, data mining. So again, you can leave some of these subject, you can look at it and accordingly you can make your plan, preparation plan. Okay, so what is the difference, what was different in 2019? जो 2019 में 2019 में जो UGC नेट का एग्जाम हुआ उसमें क्या डिफरेंट था? So first of all, they've asked many questions from theory of competition. They were not expected to ask so many questions from TOC because they were supposed to ask some question from compiler design also. So they have ignored compiler design completely this time. So instead of asking from compiler design, they have asked the question from theory of competition and specifically the topic which is decidability and Turing machine. अगर आप previous analysis करेंगे from 2000 before 2019, they never asked any question from decidability, they never asked any question from Turing machine, but now in this session itself they asked question from decidability and Turing machine because they took those questions from compiler design. So compiler design के ऊपर कोई question नहीं पूछा गया था, so that does not mean that I'm going to leave these two subjects. We have to take these two subjects, and this time I'm going to focus more on decidability as well as Turing machines. I'm going to focus on these subjects also, these topics also. Now in this 2019 they focused more on algorithms rather than data structures. So basically you cannot study algorithm without data structure. Data structure is a part which is very, very important to study algorithms. So instead of asking any question from data structure, they asked questions mostly from ADA, which is algorithm design and analysis. And there are some subjects from which they have asked very few questions. For example, mobile computing, they have asked one question. Web development, they have asked two questions. But both of these two questions are so easy that you do not even have to prepare them. Then we have Linux, they have asked one question. And from IoT they have asked one question, and from OOPS they have asked two questions. So if you see this subject, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, out of these 5 subjects they have only asked 7 questions. So you can see, you can clearly identify what are the subjects which are important. So in these subjects you can focus later on in the end of your preparation if you have enough time. If you have prepared the important subject first you are going to prepare all the important subject. If you have finished your preparation in preparing those important subjects, then you are going to focus on this one. Okay, तो आप क्या करेंगे कि सबसे पहले जो भी आपके important subject हैं, जैसे कि यहाँ पर सबसे जो important subject थे हमारे पास ADA, TOC, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग, कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क्स, AI, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एंड कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो ये जो सब्जेक्ट है दे हैव आस्क्ड 63 क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दीज सब्जेक्ट्स. इन सभी सब्जेक्ट में से इस बार 63 क्वेश्चन आए थे आउट ऑफ 100. सो हाउ मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स आर देयर? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. सो अगर आप थोड़ा सा एक दो सब्जेक्ट और इसमें ऐड करेंगे, फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर गोइंग टू ऐड योर data structures as well as C programming in this. If you add all those topics also, so your 70% of your paper is from these subjects only. तो जो आपका 70% UGC नेट का क्वेश्चन पेपर्स है, that was prepared from 10 subjects. So these 10 subjects are extremely important. If you just study these 10 subjects, your 70% paper is done. Now rest 30% you have to prepare. Out of that 30% itself, some of the subjects are very less important because you can see like LPP is also there. So some of these subjects are very, very less important. So you are not going to focus more on these subjects. You are going to focus more on these subjects. And once you have finished this, जैसे ही आप इन सभी की preparation finish कर लेंगे, then only you are going to go for these subjects. Okay? Is it clear with all of you? क्या आप सभी के साथ इतना clear है? So your main focus will be on these subjects which are highly, which are having the highest weightage. So approximately your 10 subjects are there, and these 10 subjects make your 70% of the question paper. So more focus will be on these 10 subjects and less focus will be on these subjects. Okay. So what I will recommend is these subjects I'm not going to cover in the live classes. जैसे in previous session also I've done the same. So the subject like mobile computing, IoT, Linux and web development, these subjects I'm not going to take in the live classes. So you can study these subjects on your own by the recordings that I've already given you. तो जो recordings मैं आपको already दे चुका हूँ in your Google Drive. So from those recordings you should cover these subjects in your free time. But these 10 subjects, more of these subjects I'm going to cover in the live classes, because these are going to be extremely important for your exam preparation. And all these subjects I will be teaching personally this time. I'll not be giving this subject to other faculties. So I'm going to teach all these 70% of the portion I'll be taking, as well as the previous year questions for that. Okay. And so you can also analyze the same subject from previous year papers also. You will find that in the previous year papers also they have asked maximum amount of questions from these subjects itself. Okay. Good. So what will be roadmap here? How we are going to do the preparation this time? So as all of you know that your GATE examination is on 4th, I think 3rd or 4th of February. So because the GATE examination is in February, and all these 10 subjects, if you look at these subjects which are important here. So for example, ADA is also in GATE, TOC is also in GATE, computer networks is also in GATE, and your operating system is in GATE, computer architecture organization is in GATE, discrete mathematics is in GATE, right? So compiler design, all these subjects are already present in GATE examination. So what I'm going to do here is, because the GATE examination is on 8th of February, GATE examination is on 8th of February. So till 8th of February, we are only going to do the subjects which are also common in GATE, and that will be taking the subjects in a manner that we'll try and finish all the subjects in next 45 days. So I'm going to spend approximately 5 to 6 days on one subject, so that in next 45 days we will be able to finish 9 subjects. So first we will be focusing on the subjects which are present in GATE as well as UGC net. I'm going to take all the subject from the beginning. ऐसा नहीं है that I'm going to take the subject from the middle point itself. तो जितने भी subject है which are present in GATE and UGC net, I'm going to take all the subject from the beginning itself. सबसे पहले उसको बिगिनिंग से लेंगे फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक्स, एंड देन विल आल्सो डू द प्रीवियस ईयर गेट क्वेश्चंस दिस टाइम. तो सबसे पहले हमारे पास इन सभी सब्जेक्ट्स के लिए हम प्रीवियस ईयर गेट क्वेश्चंस को फोकस करेंगे टिल 30th ऑफ जनवरी. सो आफ्टर 30th ऑफ जनवरी we'll have a break from 1st February to 8th February, or approximately 10th February. We'll have a break 1st to 10th February so that you can prepare for GATE, and from 10th February onwards again we will start the subjects which are UGC net specific. जो UGC net specific subject है वो हम 10th February के बाद start करेंगे. So again मैं फिर से repeat कर रहा हूँ, because many students ask these questions again and again later also. They always repeat the same things again. So I'm repeating this same sentence again. Till GATE, यानी कि from today itself, that is 15th of December till 30th of January, in these 45 days we will be focusing on the subjects which are in GATE, and we will be solving previous year GATE questions. And then from 1st of February to 10th of February we'll be having an off, because GATE examination is on 8th of February. तो हम 1st से लेकर 10th February तक off करेंगे, and after 10th February we'll be focusing on the subject which are specifically in UGC net. जो सिर्फ UGC net में आएंगे, हम सिर्फ उन subject को focus करेंगे from 10th of February onwards. So our more time that we'll be spending in this session will be on UGC net specific, यानी कि जो हमारे पास next after 10th of February जो हमारे पास next 3 months होंगे, that is February, March, April and May. So this is approximately 4 months. So on those 4 months we'll be specifically focusing on the subjects which are only in UGC net but not in GATE. तो उन सभी सब्जेक्ट पे हम लोग वहाँ पर फोकस करेंगे, so that we can practice more on UGC net specific subjects this time. Okay, and then we are targeting to finish the UGC net syllabus 1 week before the examination. So that is because the examination will be in June 2020, so we'll be finishing the syllabus 1 week before the actual examination. Okay, and the deadline should be that every subject we will try and finish every subject within 1 week to 10 days. We will not be extending the subjects from more than 1 week or 10 days. The reason is because we have number of subjects is very high. So we have approximately 18 subjects. So if you are going to spend 10 days in one subject, that is going to take you 180 days, which is approximately 6 months. Okay, मैं फिर से लिख बता देता हूँ. देखो, you have approximately 23 subjects in UGC net. Out of these 23 subjects, I'm not going to cover 5 subjects in the live classes. So we are going to cover approximately 18 subjects. So if you are going to spend 10 days in one subject, so this is approximately 180 days to finish all the subjects. So if you divide it by 30, so that means 6 months. So it will take approximately 6 months to finish all these 18 subjects. Okay, so in these 180 days we are also going to have some off. Maybe a Sunday will be off, or maybe a weekdays will be off, or weekend will be off, or there are some festival offs are also there. तो festival के भी off होते हैं. So that is why in practice we will never get 180 days. In practice we will be getting somewhere around 150 to 160 days. Okay, so approximately 15 to 20 days will be in your holidays. Maybe your Sunday is there, maybe your government holidays is there. So 15 to 20 days is there. So approximately you can see that in 150 to 160 days we have to finish these 18 subjects. तो ये जो 18 सब्जेक्ट है वो हमें 150 डेज के आसपास ही फिनिश करना है. So that is why we have to take approximately 1 week to finish a subject. So it can be any subject, it can be artificial intelligence, it can be software engineering, any subject whatsoever. So you have an average of 1 week for one subject. There are some subjects which are very small, which will take approximately 3 to 4 days, and there are some subjects which are very large, so that will take approximately 10 days. But in roughly 1 week to 10 days will be given to one subject, so that we can finish the syllabus till the end. Okay, any questions till now? अब तक कोई क्वेश्चन है आपके साथ? If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Good. I think I've answered most of your queries. अगर आपकी जो queries हैं, mostly I've already answered some of your queries. So let us take forward. So the subject that we will be focusing first will be your discrete mathematics and engineering mathematics, because in the last session we have not covered engineering mathematics. So beginning of the entire session will be starting with the discrete mathematics and engineering mathematics, and after this I'm going to take either C programming or or C or digital logic. So I'll update you the session timings also. Okay. Priyanka, I told you that from those 8 subjects you got 63 questions, and from less important subject you got 7 questions. From 5 subjects you got 7 questions, and from 8 subjects you got 63 questions. See, rest 30 questions are from the subjects. For example, if you look at this analysis, let me just show you. So if you look at this analysis, so subjects like computer graphics is important. So first of all we are going to cover the most important subject, then we are going to cover the less important subjects, right? So from computer graphics they got 4 questions this time, and from this discrete mathematics they got 6 questions, and from subjects like you can see this digital logic they got 3 questions, right? So we have to cover these questions, these topics also. So obviously we are not going to leave those 30 questions, right? So from if you look at the subject that I told you, 70% of the questions, so 70 questions are coming from 10 subjects only. जो 70 क्वेश्चन जो है, या फिर 70% क्वेश्चन है वो सिर्फ 10 सब्जेक्ट में से आ रहे हैं, एंड यू हैव रेस्ट 30 क्वेश्चंस आर कमिंग फ्रॉम द सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक डिजिटल लॉजिक, एंड यू हैव सब्जेक्ट like computer graphics. So obviously we are going to cover these subjects also. Okay, yes, doubt sessions will be there specifically, and as well as previous year question sessions will be there specific. So what we will be doing here is we will be studying the theory, and after covering the theory we will be having specifically 2 or 3 classes which will be dedicated only for previous year questions. So we will be solving previous year questions also. Okay, yes, I'll send you the names of the book. I'll send you a link from where you can find the names of the book. Okay, so this is the gate analysis. From the gate, the previous gate analysis, that is from February 2019. So in this analysis, the subjects which are in UGC-NET as well as in GATE, these are the subjects which are also in UGC-NET as well as in GATE. Only one subject is not in UGC-NET, that is your engineering mathematics. So engineering mathematics is not directly asked in UGC-NET. So discrete mathematics they already asked, they directly asked this discrete mathematics topic. So if you look at this GATE, the syllabus which is present in GATE, the entire syllabus which is also entire topics which are also in GATE, they are also asked in UGC-NET. So we are going to cover all these topics here. Only this engineering mathematics, those students who are only preparing for UGC-NET, they can leave engineering mathematics classes. जो स्टूडेंट सिर्फ यूजीसी नेट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं वो इंजीनियरिंग मैथमेटिक्स को लीव कर सकते हैं, बट अगेन देयर आर सम टॉपिक्स विच आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम इंजीनियरिंग मैथमेटिक्स. द टॉपिक्स लाइक matrices. So matrices topic is in engineering mathematics, and that topic is also important for UGC net. Okay, so all these subjects which are in GATE, they are also present in UGC net. Okay, so this is the total number of marks that you got from one subject. You can analyze it later on also. आप इसको बाद में भी analyze कर सकते हैं. So by looking at the previous this February question paper, you can see that from C, data structures and algorithm, they are asking approximately 14% of the questions. From the subject like computer networks, they are asking 13% of the questions, right? Discrete mathematical structure and graph theory, 13% of the questions. DBMS, 11% of the questions, right? So you can see the subjects which are very important, and accordingly you can also prepare for GATE. So this was the highlight of the GATE examination this time. I don't think so it is important, but again these two videos are very important. If you are preparing for GATE, I recommend you to watch these two videos. I sent you the PPT. In that PPT, the link of these two videos are already present.